There we go. Good morning and good afternoon. Welcome to Red Zone in the UK. We are 48 minutes uh, behind, but let's jump right into it. Good morning, Christian. Good morning, Scouse. How you guys doing this morning?
I'm good, pal. How you doing?
Hanging tight. Hanging tight.
Good man.
How about
All
you?
good here. All good here. Yeah, it's less snowy in London. I think in Andy's part of the world, it's probably a bit snowy there.
Yeah. Let's get right into it. The last regular season game of the year, but it's not our last game of the year. How exciting is that, Scouse?
Oh, it's awesome, man. Yeah, it's nice to feel that we've actually got a decent team and we can actually do something. You know, we might be able to shock somebody in the playoffs as well. So, man, we've when we got JD5 there, we've got a chance. So it makes us a believer. So yeah, man, it's exciting.
How about you, Christian? How you feeling about playoff game?
Yes, great stuff, isn't it? I feel a little bit sorry for you, Deuce, if we have to carry on the early morning shows because of the playoffs. I'm sure it's a sacrifice you're happy to make. So no,
Yeah.
really exciting. Totally agree with Andy. Anything's possible, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because of JD5, without a doubt. And Eckler coming back after concussion is a nice little bonus as well. So yeah, anything's possible. Not scared of the Rams. Not scared of Tampa Bay.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm not either. And I guess we'll find out, I guess Monday or maybe Sunday night when the games will actually be taking place next weekend. I think it can either be Saturday, Sunday, or Monday. So I guess we just have to figure that out when. But let's get right into it. The weather, I mean, is in a dome. I'm not sure if Jerry's gonna open it up or not. I know the last time he tried to open up, then he had stuff falling from the ceiling. So I don't know. I don't know if they've fixed that yet. But either way, even if they do open it, that mean that the weather is pretty good there. So I'm not too concerned about the weather. But here, we about to get our first major snowstorm. So I wonder, like, even after the game for the players, I wonder if they will try to get back before the storm tonight, or they will try to wait it out down in Dallas, or depending on where we play, maybe we'll go straight there. Because I remember when we played, who did we play early in the year?
Arizona?
Was it Arizona? But before Arizona, who did we play? Because remember we were
Was it even Tampa? Was it Tampa first
No,
game?
it was sure it was Cleveland, wasn't it?
Cleveland.
Okay, yeah.
And they went straight to Arizona. So maybe that's something that we'll see them do again today. But yeah, let's get right into the history, Kristen. We got a rich history, these two teams, right?
Absolutely, yeah. We're a little bit lacking behind the Cowboys in the overall record. 129 times that they've faced off. Dallas 79 wins. Commanders have won 48 and a couple of ties. Last time out, obviously we've had a really positive season, but back week 12 we actually lost the game against Dallas. I think we had a pod that day, didn't we? And we were, I think we were thinking it was going to be a get right game for Washington. It wasn't. Cooper Rush went for 247 yards, 2 touchdowns. It was a bit of a tough day sack-wise for Daniels. He was sacked 4 times. And I'm sure you recall this. Absolute sensational 86-yard touchdown when Terry and Jayden connected there. And Austin Seibert missed the extra point. That meant we were forced into an onside kick. And unfortunately, that didn't go well, and it was returned to the house by Thomas of the Cowboys. So I'm sure it'll be better today. It made me think a little bit about the kicking situation in Washington, actually. And I was having a look at how Gonzalez has done, 100% on extra points. Just wondering if Zane might be our kicker in 2025 season as well.
Hope not.
Depends if he hits the barbers or not properly, gets his hair sorted, doesn't just 13 fucking stripes of his hair like this before he starts actually kicking. That's not cool, bro. And then he misses the kick. So yeah, I don't know if I can deal with him being our kicker. going forward next season. But we'll see. We'll see how that goes.
Very accurate extra points, and then sort of field goals a little bit different. He's about sort of 68% on that, but interesting. There'll be competition, I'm sure, in training camp. But we don't need to worry about kickers in training camp just yet.
Speaking of kickers, did you see last night, Cade York, 5 in a row? I think he had four, and then an extra point. Didn't miss any. And we let him go because he missed 2, didn't he? I think he missed 2 in the game.
Yeah.
Kickers are funny, man. Like it's usually they don't get good till like they second or third stop.
Yeah, unless they're flat out I think if they're flat out technically just really, really good, it can be different. They can be, almost.
Oh yeah.
But if not, we've been in the shopping market for streaky kickers, haven't we? You're hoping they carry you for a few games. So
yeah, a lot of kickers, if you get one, they pretty much hold on to them forever.
That's right.
All right, key matchups. CD Lamb is out. Of course, Dak Prescott is on IR. They just cut Ezekiel Elliott. He wasn't a big factor. Michael Parsons popped up on the injury report late in the week, so see how that looks. So, what are some key matchups for you, Scouse?
It's hard to actually say a true key matchup. I'd say Deron Bland up against Terry is probably the big one, because I think Bland would normally stay, but he is known to travel as well across different sides of the field. And I think he played quite well against Terry last time he played them as well. So I'd say Terry up against Deron Bland. I think Dallas' team's actually pretty banged up, really. Their starters are all out and injured or banged up playing, so it's going to be true key matchup, that one, and then maybe like the O-line against our D-line, and see what goes from there. But so we need to get the run game going. But again, I can't remember their players because they're all like on the second stringers and third stringers, so I don't know what the names are of them. Being honest with you.
What about you, Christian?
Yeah, I picked a kind of intriguing matchup, but like Scouse said, a lot's depending on health, isn't it, for the Cowboys, or whether they're even going to risk someone with nothing to play for. So I had an intriguing matchup and one where I feel the Commanders can get some success. So the intriguing one for me is if Michael Parsons does play, our left tackle, Brandon Coleman. I personally think we've probably got that position sorted for next season. I think he should play left tackle for the Commanders next season. Yeah. Currently ranked 5th in terms of all rookies, right and left, in terms of pass protection. He's really improved as the season's gone on. So I think that's an intriguing one. And where I think we can have a bit of success, I think their key linebackers out, isn't he? And I like Zacchaeus. Yeah. I like Zacchaeus, and I'm going to absolutely ruin this person's name. But I know, is it Maurice Leofau?
Leofau.
Linebacker there. A little bit over aggressive.
I actually think Overshown is out for the year.
Yeah, he's injured. Overshown's out. Yeah,
he's injured. Yeah, so I think we can have some success. I like Ozzy. I like Ozzy in the slot against someone like Leofau as well. I think he's a bit aggressive, misses tackles open field. So, and even like Austin Eckler coming back as well. I think that could be a long day for Dallas sort of linebacker position.
Yeah, I think with Eckler, I'll be surprised. I think they want to get him some reps, kind of get some dust off. I don't think he gets a lot. He may get 5 to 7 touches, couple runs, maybe a couple passes. Pick up the blitz a couple times, for pass protection, just to get him right. Yeah. He's been out for 4 weeks? 4 weeks, I think. 4 weeks total. But yeah, man, like the Cowboys is pretty down. But of course, like the Brandon Cooks, he's a proven NFL wide receiver. You got Turpin who can take it to the house. So I'm really, we we can't let those guys get over top of us. This passing defense. But
one thing I forgot was Tolbert. He's been doing quite well for them. Cuba Rush seems to like him. Yeah, especially and he's going to be up against St. Ghost. So that's going to be quite an interesting one. Mikey will probably have Brandon Cooks, like you mentioned, and then you're going to have St. Ghost up against him. So that'll be an interesting battle as well.
What's up, Biggs? Yes, it is the first game of the year. Yeah, good way to point that out. What's up, Cash? Yep, we went on the road against the Bengals straight to Arizona. Yeah, man. So like, we have a lot of guys on defense. Cleaner Furrow, um, uh, Dante Fowler, Frankie Louvu, even Jeremy Chin. They're all within 2 sacks of a pretty good bonus. So I think we're going to bring a lot of pressure. I think we're going to bring a lot of pressure early, especially it's going to be Trey Lance starting. Just to try to get those guys bonus games. So even if we don't bring pressure, I think those guys who's trying to get paid. So I think they're going to have some a pretty good engine for today's game. So I see at least 6 sacks today. Just off of that alone, Trey Lance. Of course, we all know who Trey Lance is. He can run, like we do know that. But we've been okay. We've been pretty good with mobile quarterbacks. Keys to win, Christian. What you got?
Yeah, one on offense, one on defense. The Cowboys are poor against the run. They rank actually last. They're not good defensively against the run. I'd like to see Brian Robinson Jr. get a good game. He's been below par since the Tennessee game. Say below par, maybe that's a bit harsh, but he certainly hasn't rushed for 100 yards since then. So I would certainly lean on the running game a little bit there as well. In terms of defense, I mean, you mentioned it. If they're going to start Trey Lance, came into the NFL, big physical traits, seen as a lot of upside without much college experience. We've got to get to him, haven't we? I think he'll unravel. I think so if we keep him in the pocket, he's going to start to get inaccurate. So there could be some takeaways as well. So that's it, really. I think, nice balance game between running the ball, passing, get Brian Robinson involved, a few touches for Eckler, like you say, as well. And let's just put that pressure on Trey Lance. I think it's got almost a simple game plan going into this one.
What about you, Scouse?
I mean, I think you mentioned it really. I mean, for us, it's just do what we've been doing most of the season. Don't turn the ball over too much. Get the run game going. That's important because I think we need to be able to if we don't get the run game going heading into the playoffs, I'm going to be more concerned because if you can't run the ball in the playoffs, you're not going to win games. It's as simple as that. So, so we need to make sure this game, we should really be using this game as kind of pressure-free game. Worst case scenario, we lose, we play Philly. Okay. Best case scenario, we might get Tampa. All right. Now, but use it as a way of getting to work out the kinks in the run game. Get that run game going, get it running nice. So then we feel confident going into next week. That's my biggest thing for me from this game. We got to get it going, man. Because we know JD can put it on a dime, throwing the ball. So we know his legs are great, but we don't want him to be using his legs all the time. Where he's going to get smoked every week, every tackle. I don't. You got to limit his his exposure to the hits. So for me, get that just work the game plan where the run game's going to be back to the way it should be.
It'd be interesting as well. When I'd like to see Robinson's stats when Eckler's there as well. I think that balance is quite nice. I think when the load's just on Robinson, it's like, he hasn't been that explosive, has he, for the second half of the season?
Right.
Yeah.
Got off the Browns fired offensive coordinator Ken Dorsey. And they also fired the offensive line coach. That's it so far. So we know the dreadful day is tomorrow. After the season, but we had some games yesterday, so you may see some things today. So one thing about firings, I know a lot of fans, want to get rid of certain coaches, but the coach is going to be fine, right? Like the head coaches, the OCs, like their contracts is guaranteed. But, it's the offense assistants that move their families, the assistant position coaches and all of those guys that, I know it could be very tough for them. Start fast, relax early, get rest by halftime. Definitely can be used as a confidence booster game, 5-game win streak going into the playoffs while coming off the road against your rival.
See, it's hard, isn't it? Because with Dallas are, they're going to want to play party pooper. They're going to want to play, get the sweep over us. They've got something against us there, and they want to obviously make us play against Philly in the playoffs. At least one of the NFC's teams go out in the first round. So it's they've got something to play for still, even though you're thinking, they got really nothing to play for. Because we know, let's face it, McCarthy's going to be fired at the end of the year. I can't see him bringing them back, even if they win today. So it's for them. It's all about kind of trying to put us in a situation where we're going to play Philly and one of us are going to get knocked out. So don't underestimate them. No, I think they're going to play hard. You know what I mean? I don't think it's going to roll over for us. I know Eagles just absolutely destroyed them last week, but they just kept the pressure up all the time. You know what I mean? They did what Philly normally do. They didn't sit back and relax. They went after them, kicked their ass. So that's what we need to do.
I like this view. Y'all like this view?
I'm studying on my own. My own little circle.
You're the circle.
I'm the circle of one. Billy no mates.
But no, that's a great point. But as far as resting players, before we get to the knockout players, what do you think the quarter has to be? What do you think the score has to be in order for them to say, all right, let's stop pulling players?
Is that to me or?
Yeah, both of you. You can start, Scouse.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I think it's got to be at least minimum two touchdowns up, at least. More than likely 3, to be honest with you. So I'm thinking like at least minimum 14 points got to be.
Yeah, that's spot on, isn't it? Yeah, 21's ideal, isn't it? But 14, 2 scores,
Because it'd be nice. The ideal scenario would be kick their ass first half, put up by 3 scores, and then you can rest all your players. Now, that'd be great. That'd be the perfect scenario. But does it ever work like that for us? I don't think it ever does. So, especially against Dallas away as well, it's not going to be as easy as we think.
Yeah, I agree. So, like, I don't like. I think we have to be up huge in order for them not to come back out at after half, right? So, 14, 17. I still think they come out in the third quarter. They can get another score, stop them. I think that'll probably be it because Jayden did sit one game in the fourth quarter, so I think we have to be up significantly big. You watched some games yesterday, like the Ravens, and like Lamar played all the way until except for the very last drive. But I know they was trying to get records and things like that, which I think can play a part, right? I think we really want to get Terry that 13. Right, I think they really want to get him that 13. I think they'll push the envelope a little bit just to try to get him that 13th touchdown to break the record. So, knockout player. What you got, Scouse? Who your knockout players on both sides?
Trey Lance. No.
You never know, right?
He's going to be knocked out.
If this was the old team, he'll probably have a big game. If this was the old regime,
yeah, man. I mean, Deron Bland, I think, is a big knockout player. You got him. He is a very good corner. I like him a lot. But then, as I say, from there, you've mentioned Rico Dowdle. That Dowdle's been solid for them this year and 1,000-yard rusher. So they're the 2 main knockout guys really from their team. Keep the ball away from Bland unless he's up against Terry. As you said, we want to get him that 13th touchdown. So we've got to try and scheme it open a little bit if Bland's on him because he is a sticky coverage guy. Whereas, but Dowdle, we know we struggle against the run. So Dowdle will get some yards. But if we can stop him, be easy enough. But knockout players for us, again, Terry, JD, the usual boys,
Yeah. What's the spotlights for you, Christian?
Yeah, I mean, certainly Rico Dowdle for them, as Scouse mentioned. And it was also mentioned as well about Turpin, very lively punt returner for Dallas. So that's another guy to watch out. In terms of like kind of, I wouldn't say knockout players, but sort of kind of spotlight players for us. I think there was a sort of valid bit of criticism from Joe Wick Jr. towards John Allen just midweek in his press conference. It wasn't heavy. He didn't hang him out to dry or anything like that. But in terms of like stuffing those running lanes, etc. So John Allen coming back should be a boost. But is it going to be a boost? So I've got a little bit of a spotlight on John Allen to play well after coming back after that pec injury.
This is second game back.
Second game back, yeah. And, that's a quite a large chunk of the salary cap, isn't it, as well, with a relatively not too bad dead cap for John if we walk away from him. So, I mean, that's an interesting one, looking at guys like that. And I mentioned it a few times, but for Washington, I'd really like to see, because of the sort of momentum, that run game and Brian Robinson. I want Brian to go for like 90, 110 yards today. I think that's really, really important for us. So.
Yep. Happy New Year, Scott. Oh yeah, Happy New Year, Christian and Scouse. Sorry, I forgot that. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, Jude.
Happy New Year. All right, score predictions. I'm going straight up with mine. 27-3.
Really?
I would love to get a shutout. Like that would be huge to get a shout out. Also think that the guys may not play the fourth quarter. So that's where I am. 27-3. What about you, Scouse?
28-17.
Oh, I don't want that. That mean they playing the whole game.
Yeah, no. Yeah. I mean,
what you got, Christian?
Yeah, we mentioned it. Divisional game can be a bit of a leveler, but after that drubbing against Philadelphia, I think the Dallas team were a bit checked out, So I'm going to say ideally we can rest some starters late third quarter, early fourth. We get out to 21-7, but it finishes 24-14. And we do get that 6th seed and go to somewhere sunny like Tampa Bay. Not me, I'll be in London, but at least the team get to go to Tampa Bay.
I mean, who do you want, Deuce? Who do you want in the playoffs if you had a choice?
Selfishly, I'd rather go to Clearwater and Tampa Bay. And that's just because I love Clearwater. Make use that as a little vacation. Haven't been to SoFi yet, but that's long travel in a short time. So as far as like where I would want to go, as far as a fan, it's probably the closer trip, which is Tampa Bay. But as far as playing, I don't care.
Yeah, it doesn't matter at this stage. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah, I'd like to see.
I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid of either one of those teams.
I think a great matchup.
Philly?
Yeah, no, not Philly. No,
not Philly away. You think Philly away?
Yeah, I ain't going no Philly game.
Yeah. Playoff Philly. That's not the most friendly place. I'd love Tampa Bay as well because of Mike Evans versus Lattimore. If Lattimore was healthy, I think a playoff game with that again, that'd be absolutely tremendous.
Yeah, because they've had some great battles. And I think he needs 83 yards or 63 yards to get 1,000. Because I know he was out a few games this year. So, man. So
you'll get his.
Yeah, for sure. So we at least got one more show. We can figure out the timing of it once we get the schedule out, but we at least have one more, which is great. What you got this week, Christian?
Yeah, this week we had a little look, a little blog at how did Washington get here. So it focused a little bit on some of those key, quite veteran free agents, like Zach Ertz, Dante Fowler, etc. Whether we should re-sign some of them, and that day it was mentioned that most of them were alternate Pro Bowlers, which I thought was fantastic as well. And then we had a little chat with a very downbeat Dallas Cowboys UK podcast, and they were slightly salty, weren't they? Which I really enjoyed. So I love that. And then I'll probably put out a blog, the usual final thoughts based on this podcast in an hour or so.
What you got, Scouse?
Yeah, well, today, because we've got an early kickoff, we've got the post-game matchup with Bleeding Burgundy podcast. So basically us ranting if we lose, or us just licking arse if we win. That's basically us for the first kind of for about half hour after the game. And then what have we got? What day is it today? Sunday. Yeah, then we've got I have the bunker on the Monday with Andy Burrows and Jesse, and then I have the 1 Point Safety Show on Thursdays, 3 p.m. Eastern, 5. So yeah, man, busy week as usual, and then obviously us next week, next weekend at some point. So
playoff football.
Can't wait, man. Cannot wait.
Playoff for the playoff football. I'm gonna talk to the guys. Maybe we can add some extra topics, depending on the time slot or whatever. We really excited. We can't just do like regular stuff. This is the playoffs. We ain't been here in a long time. Matter of fact, even 20, like we didn't have as much confidence as we have now going into these playoffs, because we ain't really had that much confidence in 20. We was 7-9 with a guy just getting off his sister couch. No, you know what I mean? Like we ain't had that much confidence. But yeah, man, we absolutely enjoy this year. Looking forward, like I said, we got one more game, so we'll do all the sentimental thank you stuff in a couple weeks. So we know your time is very valuable for you to spend it with us early in the morning or on your lunch break over in the UK. We absolutely appreciate it. Remember, do it because you love it, not because it loves you. One beat, one sound, one heart, one love.